The top craziest things I've seen going down to Detroit being an addict were, number one, the first time I went down to the city, there was a barbecue, and they said that they were cooking for all of us regulars or whatever, having a barbecue, invited us over. Everybody was having a good time, doing stuff, drinking, whatever, and I kept making fun of this guy that was barbecuing. He was barbecuing by a garage, and I was like, the meat that you boosted is just nasty. It's rancid, it smells bad, whatever. Like, I kept making fun of this. So that day, a couple hours later, the house ended up getting shot up by a drive-by shooting. We were in the backyard. All of a sudden, vehicle comes by, boom, 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 bunch of shots, whatever. Well, there was a bunch of neighbors and stuff outside, so the police came, and they were investigating, and they opened the garage, and there was a dead body in the garage. Apparently, this was an addict that overdosed, and they didn't know what to do with the body, so they put it in the garage, and they forgot about the body. They forgot about the dead body in the garage for like 2 weeks. So that was the first thing. Second thing was, I was at this house, and all of a sudden, there was somebody at the front door, which was weird because everybody knew to use the back door. So the guy that owned the house opened the door, and all of a sudden, through like the little like bar grates that were in the houses in Detroit, there was a hand, and then there was a gun. And so the guy started shooting in the living room. So we're like, oh my, like, what the fuck? So I didn't know if there was people outside that are gonna shoot or whatever. So I ran upstairs, and when I ran upstairs, I just followed this guy out a window, and we ended up jumping on top of the garage and then going on top of the roof. And so we were laying on top of the roof, and the police came. So they were talking to the homeowner, and there was like 6 or 7 of us just sitting on the roof while the police were circling it, and they didn't know we were there. They were just sitting there, and we were just sitting there just smoking crack on the top of the roof while the police were surrounding us. And eventually they left, and we left, and it was like no big deal or whatever. that happened. And then the third thing was the attempted murder that I saw on New Year's of my friend. The dope guy tried to kill him for bringing somebody else's dope in the house. So they tried to beat him to death in front of me. They thought he was dead. They made us clean up his blood. It was not fun. It was scary. And I thought he was dead for about a week until I saw him and realized that he made it and he wasn't dead. So it wasn't a murder. I almost witnessed it was an attempted murder. The next one was my phone got stolen the day my car got stolen. So my car got stolen, and I was walking in the dope house, and I was like, I need to get somebody to pick me up. So while I was there, this little boy, he was maybe 10. He came out of nowhere, and he was like, help me, I need to call my mom. So I was like, okay. So I gave him my phone to call his mom, and the bitch ran away with my phone. So not only did my Camaro get stolen, my brand new phone, my iPhone, got stolen within like a half hour of each other. It was stupid. So anyway, went to the house, and I called my dad from that number, and I ended up spending the night at the dope house that night. Well, apparently that those people that I went to, that I borrowed their phone, the other dope house, they called my parents over FaceTime, and they said that they were holding me ransom, and if they did not give them $10,000 that night, they were gonna kill me. And so my parents were like, what the fuck? They called the Macomb police. They were trying to like coordinate with the Detroit police. It was all kind of fucked up or whatever. I was nowhere near the situation. I didn't even know about it until after I got home to my mom's house the next day, and they told me, and they showed me the pictures, and they asked if I knew them, and I realized what happened. It was just stupid is what that was. Another thing that I witnessed down there is my kidnapping. I was taken walking to the bus one night about 10 o'clock at night. I was there from Friday to Sunday. tied to a basement pole, zip tied, and I was raped and stabbed and beaten and not in very good shape. I wasn't given food or water or anything for a couple of days, and I was just treated like an animal. And then my last crazy experience down in Detroit was I had this guy bring us in from the streets. Me and the guy I was staying with, we were homeless together. We were originally living in a bandos, and we were homeless, and he brought us in to his house. Well, his house ended up being basically like a human trafficking type of thing. So that was that. And the day I tried to escape was Christmas, and I tried to crawl out the window, and he ended up breaking fracturing my heel and shattering my kneecap on my other leg. So I had like 2 broken things on each leg when I tried to escape, and I did end up getting out. The guy did get charged with a bunch of crimes. He got like 8 murders, human trafficking, drug trafficking, and assault with a deadly weapon, and all these other things. So he's in jail right now for life. He did get life, so at least that's good. I've seen some really bad things in there. I've witnessed some bad things. One of the crazy things that has happened to me besides the kidnapping was I went to this house. We didn't really know anything about them. When I got out of rehab, we didn't really know where to go, so we just followed the white people. And we ended up at this house, and they all said that it was really good stuff. It was pure fentanyl, and that they had good stuff. So I went to go take the drug, and this girl said, "Why don't I do half?" is what she told me. And I was like, no, like, I know myself, like, I'm good. Well, I wasn't good. Apparently, I fell out and I overdosed, and I woke up being like carried to like this field, and they were like, first, like, I woke up like I was half being carried, and then they dropped me, and they like start kicking me in the back, and I was like, oh my god, am I being like beat up? I was like, this is happening, like what the hell? And then I realized that they were trying to wake me up. So apparently that there was somebody there with Narcan. They Narcaned me twice, and they didn't think the guy said they checked for a heartbeat and pulse, and there was nothing. So their thought process was to move my body. So I was being carried from their dope house to, I think they were bringing me to an abandoned house, but there was like a couple of like vacant fields in between this. So I woke up like the midfield or whatever, like in the middle of being carried to this abandoned house. I assumed they were going to leave me there, like my body there. That's what I assumed was going to happen. But I woke up in the middle of it, thank God. And yeah, I got back up and I was alive. But that was a lot of crazy things.